Hello, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the weekend. Hope it was good for each and every one of my 78 subscribers and everybody just tuning in. I'm going a little early. And let me show myself to you all. There we go. So, week 12 in the HTFL are the Thanksgiving games. So, even though we are 4 weeks shy of Thanksgiving in the real calendar of 2020, these are going to be the two Thanksgiving games that I'm about to do the next two nights: Atlanta, Detroit, and Dallas and Green Bay. The way it worked out, the Green Bay game will be like a night game because in my little world, you play a game in the early afternoon and then you don't play a game at 4. Everybody eats Thanksgiving. The NFL ought to do that. So in my little world, the Dallas 4 o'clock game doesn't happen because Dallas is playing at Green Bay. And I imagine NBC, even if the HTFL had, the contracts that the NFL had, I could imagine this being a Thanksgiving night game because there'd be so much interest in it. Dallas and Green Bay, a couple of the best franchises in the HTFL. Of course, Dallas is in that tough Eastern Conference. So how was everybody's weekend? As we count down to doing this Atlanta Detroit game tonight, I will mention this during the show, and I will mention it here as well. If the Rays and the Dodgers go to a game 7 on Wednesday night, if the Dodgers do not win the World Series tomorrow night, we're going to do the HTFL game at 7. And that is because they will be one. Tampa Bay will be a game shy of winning the World Series, and I would like to see that, being a resident of the Tampa Bay area. So, if we have a game 7 in the World Series, we'll do the game at 7, try to get it done with by about 8 or 8:15. Not much in my life going on. I start a new job tomorrow with an insurance quote company. So we look forward to that. I do anyway. I don't know the Wii and maybe the mouse somewhere in my pockets or pants or something like that. But I like to do these little chats before we start the games because I don't know. I like to give a little liner notes. You go back in the old days of the recording industry, they would put all these liner notes in albums, and they would say, "Oh, here's who played the guitar on this track, and here's who were the guest vocals on another track." And it was a good little world back before the era of compact discs and MP3s. Now you get an MP3, you don't know who's singing what. So that's how that works. Of course, the Bucks are doing well. We could have a situation in Tampa Bay where the Lightning won the Stanley Cup, the Rays could win the World Series. They got to win 2 in a row against the Dodgers. That'll be a tough proposition, and the Bucks could win the Super Bowl. When New York won a Super Bowl, an NBA championship, and a World Series, that took a year and change, like a year and about 16 months. And Tampa Bay could do it all in about 4.5 months because of how the schedule went this year for all the sports because of COVID. So that'd be kind of neat, but I think the Dodgers are going to be a tough obstacle. I have a lot of respect for the Dodgers. So uh, Game 4 was pretty good the other night with Brett Phillips of Seminole High School here in Seminole, Florida, which is about 5 miles to the west of me, getting that game-winning hit. And that evened the series, and then the Dodgers came back and won Game 5, although I think the Rays kind of gave them that one. You don't steal home in the 5th game of the World Series. I'm sorry. That's just my take. Unless if you're gonna steal home, you better make it because the odds of a successful steal of home these days are pretty remote. So I think if you're gonna steal home in baseball, you better be sure you could do it. It's like running a fake punt in football. You would never run a fake punt in football unless you have a tell, or a fake field goal, unless you notice, hey, somebody on the defense is playing this way, so you could run it this way or throw it this way, and you'll get a lot of yardage. You better have a good tell, as they say in poker. was pretty good at poker back in the days when you had Poker Stars. I once won a tournament and won $450. That was about 10 years ago. That was long before they banned um the poker sites. And of course, that was back when they were all making money off of poker, but you could still make money on poker. You just have to have it. You can't earn it online these days because Poker Stars ain't around anymore. Poker, well, they are, but I mean, it's play money. It's full tilt poker. I used to love full tilt poker, and back around 10 years or so. 10 years or so ago, I would play that. I won my $450 playing in the WCOOP, the World uh, Championship of Online Poker, the W Coop. And at least here in the states, that's not around anymore, and it's been long gone now, nearly 10 years since you could play poker for money. But I guess they didn't want everybody to be playing poker for money anywhere in the country, so they just said, we're not doing that anymore. But I never won big. I just won a little modestly here and there. So we're down to 4 minutes and 20 seconds. So no, I don't. I have never smoked marijuana in my life, but I noted 420 for you all. Um, what else is going on in the world? Well, of course, we have the election in a little over a week's time. I went out today and I saw. It's an even race when you go out. I went to my DMV and got to. I don't drive anymore. I do a photo ID, and I went out and I changed my identification to photo ID, and they don't. How do I say this? I saw a lot of signs for both of the candidates. I think Florida will be very tight. I think the whole election will be very, very tight. Uh, you know, I think this is going to be a very pivotal election in terms of the future of the country. And I would just like to say, as I have been saying on this channel for a couple of weeks here and there, I don't care who you vote for. I don't care if you like the president or not. I don't care if you like the Democratic candidate or not. But at least vote. Win or lose, you participated in the process. And I think when when you participate in the progress, it feels good, and it gives you a much better feeling inside than if you just, I don't like any of them. I'm not going to vote for either of them. No, don't do that. Just it's your it's the opportunity you have to make a difference, and it only comes along every so often. Like 2 years from now, I'll be voting in do I keep my governor here in Florida or do I vote for somebody else? Do I want to keep my congressman or do I vote for somebody else? I think people should participate in the process. And in Florida, you get mail-in vote. Mail-in voting is very good here. So it depends on what state, depends on what country you live in, because other countries have an electoral process too. Uh, I totally encourage people to participate in the process. And whether you like the Democrats or whether you like the Republicans, I think that's very, very important. And I hope you all, at least in this country, go out and vote on November 3rd, which will be, as I record this, a week from today. So we'll get this quote-unquote Thanksgiving Day game started, Atlanta and Detroit. This would be a game I would normally have already done by now. I hope you all enjoyed the recap show that I just put up at 6:30. I recorded that a couple of days ago. And this is a game that won't normally be recapped because national television, if the HTFL replaced the NFL, this would be a nationally televised game. So we'll do that instead. What else was there? We've got about a minute 13 left. So, interesting day tomorrow. Very warm in Florida still. We're not going to get anywhere near the Hurricane Zeta that looks like it's going to hit New Orleans or thereabouts, maybe Biloxi, Mississippi in a few days. So let me just put the countdown on a little early and I will get ready. 45 seconds to go. We'll get this game started. How about that? Special hello to my 78 subscribers. I don't mention you guys too much. And if you like what you're seeing, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Helps the channel grow. You know, everybody says that, but it's true. 20 seconds to go, folks. In 10. And the rest you could figure out for yourself. Big Polly's World of Sports Sims proudly presents HTFL football. It is Atlanta against Detroit in a Thanksgiving Day game in the virtual HTFL schedule, week number 12 beginning with this game. Actually, we did 6 games earlier, if you all caught them. I'm Big Polly coming to you, and we're about to get started with another week of HTFL football. We do 1 week on the calendar every 2 weeks. We do 10 games. And we wish you all well if you're just tuning in. I did a little warm-up show for about 11 minutes. So imagine this is Thanksgiving afternoon, early afternoon, in Atlanta, who has been a disappointment in the Southern Conference at 3-7. They did the playoff hopes. Actually, in the Southern Conference, 4-6 would get you into the playoffs. So this is a big game for them. Detroit kind of playing out the string, considering how some of the other teams have done. I will run Detroit. The computer will run the Atlanta Falcons. I will receive the kickoff. And it is Matt Ryan against Matthew Stafford. And Dan Reeves is on the Atlanta sidelines, probably making his Thanksgiving dinner plans. And George Wilson will lead the way for the Detroit Lions, the coach of the early 60s for the Lions. Watkins, Fennenbach, Walker. I believe that is Doak Walker, not Wayne Walker. An onside kick. Or was it?
Kicking team.
No, the kick went out of bounds. Kick went out of bounds. So Atlanta is going to get it at, not Atlanta, Detroit will get it at the 40. They are in the bluish uniforms, and Atlanta will be in white. Sanders and Taylor, your running backs for Detroit. Moore and Johnson at wide receivers. Sanders at tight end. Charlie Sanders. Stafford at quarterback. Brown, Stanfill, Glover, Sewell, Creekmore, your front offensive line. For Atlanta, the front four. Humphrey, Kearney, Hall, Jarrett, Brooking, Tuggle, Kuykendall, your linebackers. Sanders, you don't want to throw to him. That's Deion Sanders, Grimes, Brown, and Case, your defensive backfield. And on 1st and 10, Sanders, who's probably going to see a lot of carries today, a trap to the right side. And Detroit starting from the 40. No gain. And the game is sounding a little different in my ears, but that's probably the new headset that I had for work. Trap right, Barry Sanders. And that's a nice gain, a gain of 10, a first down. And I probably changed the settings on this headphones. Yeah, I went to spatial sound. That's why it sounds a little different. So 1st and 10 at midfield. We'll go to Alty Taylor. Give Sanders a rest. That is Jarrett making the tackle after a gain of a yard. Back to Sanders. Like I said, I plan to run him a lot. Trap left. And then the game will have other plans for me. A gain of a yard. Gain of a yard. Humphrey. Claude Humphrey making the stop for Atlanta. And that's going to set up a 3rd and 8. Sanders, Charlie Sanders that is, the short hitch on 3rd and 8. Sacked by Hall. That is Travis Hall. And that is his first sack of the year. He's out of Brigham Young. So they'll bring in Earl Morrill and he'll try to shoehorn it in. Deep in Atlanta territory, and there is your kick. Out of bounds at the 12. The punt went 37. So Atlanta gets their first series. Here is their offense. Andrews and Pegram, your running backs. Jones and White, your wideouts. Metcalf at tight end. No, I'm sorry, not Metcalf, but Mitchell. Jim Mitchell at tight end. Ryan at quarterback. Ken, Freilich, Van Note, Fielman, and Coons, your offensive linemen. For Detroit, the front four, Porcher, Bubba Baker, Alex Karras, and Brown. Walker, Smith, and Williams, your linebackers. Larry, Dahl, Hunter, and Quinn. A couple of great corners with Larry and Dahl patrolling those receivers. 1st and 10, Atlanta at their own 12. The throw, complete to Julio Jones, and he has been leading the league in receiving yardage, or at least was after last week. But Larry strips the ball out. Roddy White with the recovery, and it's a 1st and 10 for Atlanta after all of that at the 43. Screen. This is intended for Pegram. Incomplete. Andre Rison will come in as the 3rd wide receiver. He will wear 89. 2nd and 10 at the 43. Bounces off of Roddy White, incomplete. Setting up 3rd and 10 at the 43. Matt Ryan, Matty Ice. Dump off underneath to Andrews. He gains 3. They needed 10. So Detroit will get the ball back. And we'll let you know who punted it as soon as I know. It's going to land inside the 10. I'll fair catch it. And that is Watkins on the fair catch. The punt was by Bosher. So 1st and 10 at the Detroit 9. Sanders, trap left. No gain. Tuggle on the stop for Atlanta. As I set up my next slide, so that's why I'm delaying just a moment. 2nd and 10 now at the 9. Johnson, medium hitch. Calvin Johnson, he's got it. But a marker down, hang on. Hold that phone.
Defense, number 56, 5-yard penalty.
Brooking called for offsides. They'll decline the penalty then, and it'll be 1st and 10 to Detroit at their own 27. Barry Sanders off tackle right side. And Sanders breaks into the secondary, and he picks up 18 yards to the 45. Sanders makes the tackle. Deion Sanders. We have a whole bunch of Sanders in this game. And it's 1st and 10 again for the Lions. Sanders, stretch play. And that's stuffed for a yard loss. Scott Case is injured but remains in the game. 2nd and 11. They'll go to L.T. Taylor on a screen, which they're going to change an audible to a medium hitch to Moore. Oh, a sack by Jarrett up the middle. And that's a loss of 6 yards. 3rd and 17 now. They'll put Golden Tate in the game as a 3rd wide receiver. And they're going to go long and look for Calvin Johnson. Incomplete. So both quarterbacks not off to good starts. Stafford 1 for 2 and 2 for 4 for Matty Ice. Earl Morrill back deep. He will punt it away. Yes, that Earl Morrill. And a nice return here. This could go. 20, 10. Put it on the board. Punt return for a touchdown, I do believe. Yes, Tim Dwight, 82 yards. And Atlanta has taken the lead. Hello, Super Bowl tournament. How are you? Kick good by Bryant. And it is 7-0. Matt Bryant with the point after. So Atlanta kicking off at the 35, as per HTFL rules. And this return is a nice one. 34 yards by Fennenbach to the 37. So it's 1st and 10. Detroit going to stick to the run for now. Off tackle right. And Sanders. Breaks it to the outside. He gains another 17 yards. So he's already up to 7 carries and 45 yards on the day. And let's see what they do here. They want to keep it away from Dion. Dion's matched against Herman Moore. So they'll go to Calvin Johnson, a play action medium fly route. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 at the 46. Now we'll go back to Barry, off tackle right side. Blitz coming, so we're going to change it to a screen to Taylor. Make those linemen work a little bit. A fumble, but picked up by Stafford. He picked up his own fumble, a loss of 2, and it's 3rd and 12. We've got to put a man in motion here. And we'll go medium pass, and we're going to look to, let's see, Johnson will be the obvious target. We'll go to Golden Tate. Zone defense for Atlanta. That's incomplete. And again, the Detroit defense stymied. And here's Earl Morrill on the punt. Last time he punted, Tim Dwight took it back 82 yards, but no luck this time as they wisely punt to the sideline. 5 minutes left, first quarter. 7-0 in favor of the Falcons. 1st and 10. Throw. This is Pegram. And Pegram gains 9 yards. I'm sorry, that was not Pegram. Pegram wears number 20. It was Andrews out of Auburn. He wears 31. 2nd and 1 at the 21. I haven't played with Atlanta for a while, so I'm a little rusty here. This is Pegram, and he gains no yards. And that was Brown on the stop. Algie Crumpler is going to come in as a second tight end. So we'll show you the numbers on the tight ends. 83 is Crumpler. 86 is Jim Mitchell. 3rd and a yard. A marker down.
False start. Offense. Number 86. 5-yard penalty.
And they get Jim Mitchell for the offsides, or false start. And it's 3rd and 6 at the 16. 3:33 left in the opening quarter. Throw to Andrews. Incomplete. Walker on the coverage. So now Detroit.
Encroachment. Defense.
I was about to say.
Repeat. 4th down.
Detroit was going to get good field position here, but Alex Karras jumps offside. Still 4th and a yard. This is going to be caught by Watkins.
Block. Receiving team.
And another penalty. Slay with the illegal block. That backs Detroit up to their own 23 with 3:23 to go. It's a 1st and 10 for the Lions. Looking for a score here to try to equal what the Falcons have done. Run to the right. Barry Sanders, and another nice gain for him, 8 yards. He's at 53. On the season, Barry has 758 yards. So they've pretty much been holding him in check, but receiving-wise, he's got 31 catches and 305. He has just had one game over 100. That was the 24-17 loss to Minnesota a couple of weeks ago. 2nd and 2 at the 31. Here would be a good time to go play action, I would think. Calvin Johnson. See if they can get him. Throw. Incomplete. It was Herman Moore, the intended receiver. Kuykendall came by and tipped it. And it's 3rd and 2. So now you got to go back to Sanders. An 83% chance on the inside to get a first down. We'll go off tackle right. And Barry Sanders with another big play. He crosses midfield. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's got one man to beat, and it's Deion Sanders, and he beats him. Barry Sanders blew away Deion Sanders, and it's 7-6. Your point after good by Eddie Murray, and we are tied at 7-7. Tim Dwight, who has already returned one punt for a touchdown. He's the deep man for Atlanta, but this goes into the end zone enough for a touchback. Barry Sanders now at 122 yards rushing, and we're not out of the first quarter yet.
False start. Offense, number 86, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
They get Jim Mitchell again for a false start, so it's 1st and 15 at the 15. This is Andrews. He picks up 6. Brown on the tackle for Detroit. 2nd and 9 at the 21. I'll tell you about the next 5 games coming up soon. Right after the quarter ends, as I often do at the end of the first quarter. This is Ryan pitching it to Andrews. He gained 9. 1st and 10 at the 30. Pegram. And he got a little head of steam there. A gain of 10. And it was Yale Larry bringing him down at the 40. So we have reached the end of a quarter, Thanksgiving Day here in the HTFL, even though on the calendar it's 4 weeks away in real time. Atlanta 7 and Detroit 7. So let's talk about the next few games here on the HTFL. Tomorrow we do the other Thanksgiving game, which will be a Thanksgiving night game. Dallas at Green Bay. That will be 7:30. As I was mentioning in the warm-up show that I do, the San Francisco-Washington game will either be 7 or 7:30 Wednesday. That will depend on whether or not there's a Game 7, because I live in the Tampa Bay area, and I'd like to see the Rays win the World Series if it's possible, but they got to get to Game 7 first. So if there is a Game 7, we will play it at 7. If there is no Game 7, we will play it at 7:30. Thursday, we have Kansas City at Cincinnati, 7:30. Seattle at New York on Friday to wrap up the week, 7:30. Then we come back Monday, and our first game will be Buffalo and St. Louis at 7:30. Right here on the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims channel, your home for the HTFL. 1st and 10, tie score. Atlanta has run 10 plays for 68 yards. Detroit 132, and they have run 16 plays. 1st and 10 at the 40. I always like to look at the plays because it's not indicative of time of possession per se. Schmidt with a big sack. That's Joe Schmidt out of Pittsburgh. And we will show you that that is his 4th sack of the year. He is at 56 tackles coming into today's game, and he has just made his first tackle and first sack. So he's now at 51 and 4, 50 tackles so far on the season. A loss of 9, 2nd and 19 at the 31. Matty Ice back to throw. That's a throw and a catch to Risen, a gain of 12. Yale Larry made the tackle. 3rd and 7. Ball now moves up to the 43. Screen to Andrews. Past midfield and a gain of 8. Barney makes the tackle, and it's 1st and 10 at the Detroit 49. Throw. Oh! Almost a grab by Mitchell, but he was throwing, Matty Ice was throwing in the traffic there, and it was knocked down, and an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 at the 49. We have 12:40 left in the half. That's good for Jim Mitchell. Makes up for lost time, a gain of 10, and a first down. Ball moves now to the Detroit 39. Matty Ice. Throw to Andrews, and he gains 12. Matty Ice now, Matty Ryan, 7 of 11, 85 yards. Andrews, the leading pass catcher right now, 4 for 32. 1st and 10, ball to 27 now of Detroit. Incomplete, but a marker.
Personal foul. Offense, number 84, 15-yard penalty.
And you wonder what Roddy White must have said to the officials to earn the personal foul. Probably insulted the referee's family heritage. 1st and 25 at the 42. This is going to be a pitch to Andrews, and Andrews with running room, a gain of 11. Detroit probably not playing the most stout defense there. They're probably playing soft. Seeing what 2nd down brings them. Well, it brings them a 2nd and 14. Your throw, Andrews, a gain of 6. Schmidt makes the stop, and it is now a 3rd and 8 at the 25. To Andrews, he might go. He does go. Touchdown, Atlanta. 25 yards, Ryan to Andrews. So both teams warming up offensively. Your point after try by Matt Bryant, the former Buccaneer, good, and it's 14-7 with 9:19 left to go in the half. Back to Watkins for Detroit. This will be returned, it looks like. And that is a gain of 20 to the 23. And Detroit now takes over. Stafford, 1 out of 5, 18 yards. So you can't say Dion is not having an impact in the game, although Barry Sanders blew right by him for that last touchdown. Sanders, sweep to the right, and he's gaining yardage like crazy. That's 6 more to get him to 128. And we have only played 21 minutes. He had a 69-yard run, if you're just tuning in the first quarter, and he blew right by Deion Sanders in that foot race. So we're going to go Charlie Sanders on the hitch. Completed, and that's only the second completion for Stafford in the game. Gain of 8. Brown on the stop for Atlanta. 1st and 10, the ball at the 37. We're going to go Barry Sanders, right-hand side. On a trap, but that's incomplete, and for some reason, this late at night, my phone is ringing. And it's probably a political ad, but, you know, such is life in the era of a week before the election, I guess. 2nd and 10 at the 37. We're going to go more. We're going to go medium slant. Said it's a dump off to Barry, and I think that was his first catch of the game. A gain of 7. 3rd and 3. We'll go double tight, and we're going to run the left side and go to Barry. See if anybody could stop him. And on this play they do. Gain of a yard, and that's it. They needed 3. And Sanders now 12 carries, 129 yards. 4th and 2 at the 45. They're going to bring Earl Morrill out to punt. Of course, started Super Bowl III with the Baltimore Colts.
Holding, receiving team.
And Deion Sanders with a hold. And that's going to back Atlanta up a little deeper to their own end at the 7. 1st and 10, ball at the 7, as I was mentioning. 5:34 left in the opening half, second quarter. Brown tackles Andrews after no gain. 2nd and 10, the ball at the 7. Throw, caught, Mitchell, gain of 14.
Offsides. Defense.
And it will hold.
Number 60, 5-yard
They
penalty.
get Bubba Baker for an offside. 1st and 10 at the 21. Andrews, no pickup. 2nd and 10. Ryan, red hot so far. 10 of 14, 130 yards and a touchdown. We've already had 7 penalties in the game, so it's been kind of sloppy. That's a run to the right side by Ryan. A throw to White, tackled by Dahl for 4 more yards. 3rd and 6, with 4:04 left now. An incomplete pass. Looking for Rison, and Rison's already complaining at the coaching staff of Atlanta, saying, "What did he throw to me?" Punting time for Atlanta. Watkins back deep. I think this is Bosher punting. Yes, it is. And the punt went 47. The return goes 2, so the net 45 yards. 3:16 left. Detroit down 14-7, but Barry Sanders having quite the day. Just like he had on a lot of Thanksgiving days in the 90s. And Barry gained 4 yards there. Claude Humphrey on the tackle. He's gone over 130 yards. He will likely get a season high if they keep feeding him the ball. Because for one reason or another, he's been kept in check most of the season. Throwing in the left flat to Tate. He gains 3. Setting up a 3rd and 3. Short pass. We have 2:31 left now in the half. The Golden Tate. Number 15. Incomplete, but a marker.
Holding, offense. Number 75, 10-yard penalty.
They get Brown for a hold. It would not have mattered because the pass was incomplete. Earl Morrill back to punt. And we've seen a lot of this out of Detroit so far. And that is Tim Dwight with a fair catch. The punt went 48 and no return, so it's a 48-yard net. 1:58, so we have reached a 2-minute warning. It's 14-7 Atlanta. A 1st and 10 play from the 15, gains 7 yards, Pegram. And it's now going to be 2nd and 3 from the 22. Each team with all timeouts, and Atlanta's going to call their first. 2 left for them, 3 left for Detroit. 2nd and 3. I call timeouts when the other team can do it for you. A loss of 2. Andrews tackled by Brown. Again, I will not call timeout in hopes that Atlanta calls one of theirs, and they do again. 3rd and 5 at the 20. Wide receiver screen to Julio Jones, and he will get the first down past the 30 to the 31. In last week's game against Buffalo, Ryan had a good game, 360 yards. 31 for 51, 360. And it says 3 TDs and it says 1 TD. I'm more inclined to believe he threw for 3 TDs. 1st and 10 at the Atlanta 31. A marker before the play.
False start. Offense. Number 68.
R.C. Fieldman.
Penalty. Repeat first down.
Who I believe would go on and play for Washington, if I'm not mistaken. 5-yard loss. You see him there out of Arkansas. Of course, offensive linemen, they really don't have a lot of stats. 1st and 15 at the 26. This is Ryan. He throws, and that is caught by Jim Mitchell. A gain of 19. Will Atlanta use their last timeout? They will not on this play. 1st and 10 at the 45. Ryan throwing. Mitchell close to the first. He gets out of bounds, and it's a gain of 8. So Atlanta now using the sidelines. 2nd and 2. Ball at the 47. The throw incomplete.
Holding. Offense. Number 57.
Van Note
Penalty.
called for a hold, and it's now going to be 2nd and 12. Ball at the Atlanta 43. We have 56 seconds left in a half. This is Julio Jones. He picks up 4. And as I have been explaining, he is leading the league, or was going into this week's play, with in receiving yards. Sorry, folks. 3rd and 8 at the 47. That's what happens when you try to do 2 things at once. Ryan lets it go, complete to Jones. Another big gain for him, 19 yards. And I am still not calling timeout. Will Atlanta finally call? They already have called theirs, so they're out of timeouts. 1st and 10. And Ryan spikes the ball. Julio Jones, 4 catches, 65. Andrews leading right now, 6 catches for 63. And inexplicably, Atlanta's going to try a 50-yard field goal here. I don't know why they wouldn't try to get a little closer, but we'll see. Bryant, who I once saw hit a 61-yarder against Philadelphia on television, and that's no good. So the Falcons give the ball to Detroit. They will have 3 timeouts, and they're at the 41, so if they could get something going here, they could probably kick a field goal of their own. We'll go Johnson, medium slant. And remember, we have 3 timeouts. But there's your throw. It's intercepted. Brent Grimes has just given new life to Atlanta with 17 seconds left, but they have no timeout, so they got to find the sideline. 1st and 10 at the 48. And they're going to be in trouble here. Mitchell did not get out of bounds, no gain, and that might do it for the half, and it does. So at halftime, your score is going to be Atlanta 14 and Detroit 7, and I will be back probably within 60 seconds. Actually, I think I was back within 20. So it's 14-7. Remember, tomorrow we have Dallas and Green Bay. Probably be a cold night in Green Bay, with it being a night game, quote unquote. For those of you keeping track of the political score, Amy Coney Barrett has just become a Supreme Court Justice. The Senate confirms her. So that happened as I record this in real time at 7:59 in the p.m. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Okay, software update. Thank you very much. 1st and 10 at the 35. No, not 1st and 10 at the 35. We're kicking off in the 35, you dolt. Okay, Dwight, Butler, and Hampton back deep for Atlanta. We'll tell you before we kick it off. Detroit, 25 plays, 161 yards. Atlanta, 32 plays and 227. Now we will kick it off. Dwight returned 26 yards to the 27. Slay on the stop for Detroit. So it's been pretty much Atlanta's kind of game so far. 14-7. Matty Ryan having a big day, throwing that ball around. 16-22, 195 yards at a touchdown. This is a pitch to Andrews. Andrews gets the first down on first down, a pickup of 13. So Andrews now has 7 carries and 37 yards. We'll try to update the stats for everybody as we go. 1st and 10 at the 40. Now that we started the second half, this is Pegram. Pegram will be close to first down yardage. He picks up 8, and Ryan now 17-23, 203. That was the first catch of the day for Pegram. He has 3 carries and 17 yards. 2nd and 2 at the 48. Ryan finds Andrews, and he was a good pass catcher out of the backfield back in his days with the Falcons in the 80s. That's a gain of 11. Walker makes the tackle for Detroit, and Andrews now has 7 catches and 74 yards to go with his 7 carries to 37. 1st and 10 at the 41. Gain of 6.
Offense.
But it's coming back.
15-yard penalty.
That was Pegram on a screen, but Andrews must have gotten a fight with one of the Lions. Back them up 15 and make it 1st and 25 at the 44. It's going to be a cab ride from Ann Arbor. Long throw, caught by Jones. Jones having a big day. That's 23 of the 25 yards. Len Barney makes the tackle. Lem Barney, I do believe. And just like that, a 1st and 25 turns into a 2nd and 2. Jones, 5 catches, 88 yards. Andrews, first down, pickup of 2. Detroit can challenge the ruling of the spot of the ball, but I'm going to just keep it in my pocket and hope I can challenge something later on. 1st and 10 at the 31. Andrews, another nice gain, 4 yards. He's now at 9 carries and 43 yards. 2nd and 6 at the 27. This is going to be a screen to Jones. And Jones is a yardage monster. That is a gain of 3. Jones now closing in on 100 yards receiving at 6 catches and 91 yards. 3rd and 3. Ball at the 24. This is Pegram. He gains 6. 1st and 10 at the 18. So Atlanta trying to make it more than a single score game. Pegram again, a gain of 5. Walker on the tackle. That is Wayne Walker out of Idaho. Could also play center if they were down to like the last possible center they could use. He's out of Idaho. He also kicked for the Lions, and that is true. 2nd and 5 at the 13. Pat Summerall, I once heard when they were talking about Mike Kofer making a free kick in the 80s that he saw Wayne Walker try a free kick, the rarest play in pro football. 2nd and 5 at the 13. Look it up on Wikipedia if you don't believe me. Jones, just short of the goal line. And how he did not get in, I do not know. He's over 100 on the day. He's at 104 on 7 catches. 1st and goal, and the ball showing up here at the goal line. So can Andrews punch it in? He does. Touchdown. And it's 20-7 in favor of Atlanta. Trying to stay alive in that Southern Conference race where 4 and 6 will get you to the playoffs. Extra point tried by Bryant is good. And it's 21-7 with 7:16 left in the 3rd quarter. And a special hello to everybody watching the live stream and anybody watching later on. 78 subscribers. I thank each and every one of you for subscribing to the channel. Spread the word, folks. Try to do something at least 5 nights a week, maybe 6 on occasions. Watkins back deep for Detroit. And this is going to be returned past the 20 to the 23. The return went 22. Williams on the stop for Atlanta. So now Detroit really didn't want to get into a passing game with Atlanta. Detroit didn't want to get into a passing game, but now it kind of their hands been forced out with 2 scores. Medium fly to Calvin Johnson. That's caught. That's a gain of 15. And we'll go to Sanders on the trap right. Of course, Sanders, many of his years, Detroit played a run and shoot offense with 4 wide receivers.
Number 15, 10-yard penalty.
And a 6-yard gain is going to get wiped out by a hold by Golden Tate. 1st and 20. Of course, Golden Tate a few weeks ago had a fight with somebody. Trap left, Barry Sanders. And Sanders finds the hole, 30, 40, 45, pick up to 17. He goes to 150 on the day, and that is a season high for him, I know, because we were just profiling him earlier. So why don't we try 4 wide receivers? No, actually, that puts Billy Sims in the game, so we'll just stick with 3. Off tackle right, possible man-to-man. By the way, Billy Sims also wears number 20. No gain on that 2nd and 3 play. So now it's 3rd and 3. We're going to go screen to Sanders. Who else? Barry Sanders, not Charlie. He catches it close to the first. He passes it by 3 yards. Gain of 6. 2 catches, 13 yards on the day for Barry. Stafford is now 6 of 12, 57 yards. He's only thrown the ball 12 times, and we're about 5 minutes away from the end of the 3rd quarter. Taylor, pitch right. That's a gain of 2. Kuykendall on the tackle. Moore, medium cross on 2nd and 8. He's up. He got separation there. And that's a 1st down. And he got separated from Dion, I believe. Yes, he did. And it's not very easy to get separation from Deion Sanders, who usually sticks on you like glue. 1st and 10 at the 29. Charlie Sanders, and we're going to go deep. Long hitch. Incomplete. Deflected by Case. Lucky that was not picked off. And Stafford is 7 out of 14 for 76 yards. 75 yards. So the passing game not really gelling right now, and I'm sure Deion Sanders has had an impact on it. Pitch right. Barry, 2nd and 10. And he gets another 1st down. Another 12 yards. He's at 162 on the day. That is a season high. But I was pretty sure that when he got to 150, he had eclipsed the season high already. 1st and 10 at the 17. Now they will go 4 wide and put Sims in the game, and he will run it off tackle right. Billy Sims out of Oklahoma. He goes straight ahead. He picks up 10, but he's short by a foot of the 1st down. Barry Sanders, they did play with a run and shoot offense most of the years that he was with the Detroit Lions, and that was a pretty wide open offense, especially for Barry. And that was back in an era where Detroit really didn't, if they kept 1 or 2 tight ends, they kept a lot of them. Trap left, Billy Sims. Blitz coming, so we're going to change it to a screen on 2nd and inches from the 7. And that will not get to Sims. Incomplete. The screenplay this close to the goal line doesn't usually work, and you'd think I would know that. So with Sanders getting a rest, he'll come back into service on the dive. And he'll get the 1st, and he'll get 6. Touchdown. Barry Sanders, that's his 2nd of the day. 21-13. Your point after try by Eddie Murray. Good. Who kicked for the Lions back in the 80s and eventually moved to Dallas. 21-14 Atlanta. 16 seconds now left in quarter number 3. Moving right along here tonight, folks. That is a return of 23 yards by Dwight. And it is 8:09. So we're moving at a good pace here, folks. Ball at the 22. First and 10, Atlanta. And this might be the last play of the quarter. Or it might not be. Incomplete. And with 5 seconds left, that was to Mitchell. And that was incomplete. I told you that already. Ryan, 21 of 28, 253, and a touchdown. Second and 10. To Jones, but that was incomplete and tipped by Joe Schmidt. We have reached now the end of the third quarter, 21-14 in favor of Atlanta. And tonight, I put up the recap show for week number 12, where I play 6 games out of smaller consequence during the 12th week of this HTFL season. Next time, we do this every other Monday. Our next show, recap show, will be November 9th. And in week 13, there are only 15 games. Jacksonville and Miami get the last buys of the season, so we will do 5 games. And then the week of the 9th through the 23rd, we will do, actually the 9th through the 20th, we will do 10 games from week 13. And then we get down to the home stretch of the season as the holidays in real time approach. And we should be getting to the playoffs of the HTFL in January at some point. And that'll take 3 weeks to do once I get there. And during the holidays, we will probably not be doing a game Thanksgiving. Probably not going to do a game Christmas Eve and Christmas night. So the schedule will change a little bit. And we won't be doing a game New Year's Eve or New Year's night. And we'll do games on Saturdays instead if we need to. Or Fridays, we might do two games on Thanksgiving, Friday, what have you. What our next recap show, if you like the recap shows we've been doing, will be Monday, November 9, 6:30, right here on the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims channel. Again, your home for the Hometown Football League, Universal Pioneers, the Brass Bonanza Series of the Hartford Whalers, and Grand Slam Wrestling. Third and 10 at the 22. Atlanta has now run 45 plays, 315 yards. Detroit, 36 and 248. Third and 10 at the 22. Ryan, incomplete, and Bubba Baker will come out of the game. His return probable. So we'll reset the Detroit defense for you the next time Atlanta gets the ball. Punt by Bosher. Backing up Watkins, but he returns at 8. The punt went 52, so the net 44. We have 14:49 left in quarter number 4. It's still anybody's game, 21-14, Atlanta leading. To Barry, off tackle right. And Barry breaks loose again, crosses midfield. Dashing and weaving his way, and he's going to get another long gain, 51 yards. And that puts him at 220 on the night. Great Thanksgiving afternoon here for Barry Sanders. I'll tackle right. We'll go right back to him. Just keep feeding him the ball. Gain of 6 for Barry. Humphrey on the stop. He's now at 226 on the day. We'll give him a little rest here. Trap left, Alfie Taylor. He wears 42. That's a gain of 3, setting up third and a yard. Guess who's getting the ball here, folks? That's right. It's going to be Dion. Not Dion, but Barry Sanders. What am I thinking? Off tackle, right side. Another gain of 4. That gets him to 230. He's carried the ball 20 times. First and goal at the 2. Triple tight end set. And Stafford will get the ball. Sweep right. Touchdown, Matthew Stafford. Out of the University of Georgia. And before that, Plant High in Tampa. Henry Plant High School in Tampa. Where I once saw a game when Largo played there. Point after. plant is the high school Wade Boggs came out of here in Tampa. We are dead even, 21-21 with Murray hitting the extra point. So this has become a fine game indeed. Tim Dwight, ready to receive the kickoff. He will return it. Let's see how far he gets. 26 yards to the 27, but it will come back. Kuykendall holding, and it's 1st and 10 at the 7. 11:32 left in regulation time. That is going to be Andrews. No gain. Brown on the stop. Setting up 2nd and 10 at the 7. Screen. Andrews. Really didn't gain much, if anything. Bill Fralick hurt. He is out for the game. He will be replaced by Forney, or Foamy. Let's see who that is. That is Kynan Forney, Forney, out of Hawaii. And Detroit defense right now, I promised you a reset. Porcher, Baker, Karras, Brown, Schmidt, Walker, Larry, Dahl, Hunter, Quinn, and Barney for this 3rd and 10 play at the 7. Throw and a catch to Roddy White, who gains 11. Dahl makes the tackle for Detroit. And Ryan now at 264, 23 of 32 and a touchdown. 1st and 10 at the 18. Bullet to Roddy White. He picks up another 18 yards. Steve Dahl makes the tackle for Detroit. Boy, is my chair squeaky. 1st and 10 at the 36 now. Screen to William Andrews. A lot of running room. And you can put it on the board. That went 64 yards. That puts Matt Ryan over 300 on the day at 346. And Ryan goes to William Andrews goes to 138 on the same play. Your point after try, good by Bryant, and it is 28-21. And just like that, Atlanta answers the bell. 8:56 left, 4th quarter. Watkins back deep for Detroit. His return to the 28 and goes 23 yards. So Atlanta at 408 total yards, Detroit at 314. We'll look to Sanders. We'll give him some more carries. Off to trap to the right side. He finds a hole. Pickup of 6. Deion Sanders made the tackle on Barry Sanders. We have 2 receivers over 100 yards for Atlanta. Andrews at 138 and Jones at 104. It's usually a sign of quarterbacks having a good day. Speaking of good days, Sanders is now at 236. And we're going to keep feeding him the ball. Off tackle right. Still plenty of time. And Sanders has been doing it all game. It's a gain of 11, and that puts him over 1,000 on the season at 1,005. And now Barry, get my stats to update, folks. 247. We'll keep you posted on that. Trap right, Barry Sanders. Might as well just keep feeding him the ball. Gain of 5, and he's now at 252. I think Jim Taylor earlier this year had a 272-yard gain, and Barry is closing in on that. 7:09 to go. We'll go Alty Taylor, give Barry a little rest. In fact, we're going to go to him on the screen since a blitz has been called, and Detroit picked it up, incomplete. 3rd and 5. Stafford, 7 of 16, 75 yards passing, and they're going to need a throw here. Slant to Calvin. Calvin Johnson. Short of the first, gain of 3. 4th and 2. Detroit's going to go for it. Because they can't stop Barry, we're going to give the ball to Barry here. Off tackle left. And Barry, another 14 yards. 266 on the day. And it was on a Thanksgiving Day back in the 70s. O.J. Simpson broke the then rushing yardage record with a big day. So Barry trying to do that here in the HTFL. Dive, Barry Sanders. They just can't stop him. 15 more yards. He has the single game rushing record at 281. This is quite a performance for him. 1st and 10. We'll stay in the same formation, but this is going to be play action the more. Stafford's going to run. He takes off. 10 to the 5. Pick up a 13. As a team, Detroit 32 carries, 310 yards, 9.7. They'll go 4 wide and put Billy Sims in the game, off tackle right. And Billy Sims has a touchdown, and we're a point away from a tie game again. So this has been quite the game. 28-27. Murray can hit the point after. We're tied. We are. 28-28. 3:21 left in this track meet. Who's going to win it? Tim Dwight on the kickoff. 23-yard return to the 24. 1st and 10 and at the 24. 3:12 left. We are dead even at 28 all. And we'll explain the overtime rules in the HTFL should we get that far. Jim Mitchell, an 11-yard grab. Ryan now at 3:57 on the day. 26-35 and 2 touchdowns. 1st and 10. Ball to 35. The give is to Pegram, and Pegram gains a little bit, 2 yards. Nearing the 2-minute mark. 2nd and 8 at the 37 now. Screen to Andrews? Yes. And he gets the first down. Another 11 yards gained. Andrews at 149 on 10 catches. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. It's a 28-all tie. 1st and 10, Atlanta 48. Gain of 4. Hunter on the tackle. For Detroit, if Barry Sanders is going to get to 300 on the day, they're going to need the ball back, and they're probably going to need the game to go to overtime. 2nd and 6 at the 48. Screen, not a screen, but a pass in the flat to Andre Rison, a gain of 6. And that's a first down. Larry makes the stop, and a season high for Matt Ryan. Randy Ice at 374. 1st and 10 at the 42. Screen to Julio Jones. He got 7 more yards. That's his 8th catch. And Matty Ryan now goes over 3,000 yards on the season at 3,006. Jones, we will give you his stats now and not wait, because you never know if you're going to get the chance to do it again. 8 catches, 111 yards. Ryan now at 381. 2nd and 3 at the 35. Ryan going to throw to Crumpler, and that pass kind of crumpled by him. 3rd and 3, 35-yard line, a minute 20. Screen. First down by Pegram. He slipped by somebody and picked up about 10 more yards, 18 to the 17. Ryan, 1st and 10 from the 17. Jones, another first down. And Ryan goes over 400 on the day. Atlanta with 1 timeout. Detroit with 3. And if you're Detroit, you start calling timeouts. I will. 1st and goal at the 6. This is Andrews, a gain of a yard. I'm going to call another timeout, just in hopes I can get the ball back. 2nd and goal at the 5. Ryan, incomplete. 3rd and goal. 48 seconds to go. Each team now down to 1 timeout. Incomplete. Looking for Mitchell. Hunter providing tight coverage. So Matt Bryant from 22 to give Atlanta the lead. It's good. And it's 31-28. We have 865 yards of total offense so far. Watkins to return. I believe that is him. He gets out 2. The 21, only a return of 8 yards. So, it's a simple game plan now for Detroit. Just put it up, and put it up. Medium fly to Moore. They could use their last timeout here. 4 yards, and they'll have to burn the last timeout with 25 seconds to go. They got to get close. Tate. Get out of bounds, Golden. Gain of 3 to Sanders. 3rd and 3. 23 seconds to go. We'll put Stafford in the gun. And we got to get out of bounds, folks. Moore. A long out. The throw is going to be incomplete. 17 seconds. And this time we'll try the short out. I can find it. There we go. To Johnson. Keep the game alive. Johnson's going to be short of the first, and that's going to be the game. Needed more yards than he got. He got 2. So take a knee, Matty Ice, and Atlanta's going to win. Their final 31-28. Player of the game would have to be Matty Ryan, I would think, because he had the better stats. Actually, Sanders had the better stats. Then they give it to William Andrews. You see the scoring summary there. Team stats. We had 873 yards of total offense between the two teams. Time of possession nearly even. Atlanta ran 64 plays. Detroit also ran 64 plays. Doesn't get any even than that. Game calmed down a bit after a first half where there were a lot of penalties, and there were 12 penalties total. And in first downs, Atlanta hit 25, and Detroit had 19. We'll look at the player stats. Ryan was great for Atlanta tonight, 117.4. Stafford, well, not so much. Barry Sanders, you see it there, 281 yards, which I believe is the single game high, breaking Jim Taylor's mark when he played that Monday night game against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, not a slouch defensively, and Jim Taylor just ran the ball wild on them. Andrews, 149 yards receiving to go of his 48 rushing. Julio Jones, 122. And nobody had a big game pass catching wise for Detroit. We had Brown, Larry, Hunter, and Dahl all with 8 tackles, which is usually not a good sign when you have a lot of defensive players making all the tackles. It's probably why Atlanta won and Detroit didn't. It was 31-28, and we'll see what impact that has on the standings. As I am not sitting on my chair properly because it's squeaking all over the place, you can hear. Detroit falls to 4-7, and they're 2.5 out of the last playoff position in the Northern Conference. Atlanta now 4-7. And if I compute it correct, the Southern Conference correctly, 4-6 would still be the best record to make the fourth. That would be the 4th seed. That would be Houston right now. But you got Tennessee and now Atlanta a half game back, and Houston will play later in the week. Our next game, Dallas at Green Bay. Then we go to San Francisco, Washington. Kansas City, Cincinnati, Seattle and New York, Buffalo and St. Louis, Cleveland at Chicago, Buffalo at New Orleans, and Minnesota and LA. Houston will be the Monday night game at San Diego, which we will play last a week from Friday. So your final 31-28, Atlanta beating Detroit. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. We wish you well no matter where you are, no matter when you see this. Godspeed and God bless, and we'll do